well, I know menopause is a ridiculous thing. So, like yesterday, I was out, went to Magnum Motorhomes. So, I had a lovely drive down, singing my head off in the van. Sun was shining. I was very happy with my sun strip on the windscreen. You know, lovely chat with the people there. Generally are really lovely. Got back, grabbed some food, went for a bike ride. As soon as I started riding on my bike, my brain just took over and was telling me how rubbish I am at everything, you know? And that's just sat with me all two and a half hours bike ride. All night last night. And then, you know, you've got to wake up and do the stuff that you normally do your work, do all the things you do in your day, with your brain just telling you how completely shit you are. So that's my job this morning, is to work on that while I'm working on everything else. So it can change just like that, like 1 minute happy and singing and the next minute not so much. So, and I think it just gets really weird when I've got all of the things, mindfulness coming out my ears, you know, all the things I know what to do. I know I need to stop spiraling thoughts. I need to remember all the things. But when your brain's telling you that you're shit at mindfulness and you can't do that, it's like, what's the point? You'd have fixed it by now. You know, there's just this voice. Oh my goodness. And, you know, one of the things I have in my repertoire of lovely little thoughts and things that I have a Pinterest board and whatnot. And that just tells me that this voice in my head lies to me all the time. So why do I take any notice of it at all? But I think it's like when you've got nothing else going on in your head, or when you're sleeping, sure, it creeps in your subconscious and roots its way in. So, you know, convincing you that all is not well and that you are in fact rubbish. We're off to Willow Fields today. We're going to do a charity shop thing, and we're going to go and do some washing. See Gabby and Johnny for a little bit, and hopefully Rob and Archie are going to come over tonight. And hopefully I am not going to be a sobbing party pooper. That's life, I suppose, isn't it? So I've taken my supplements. They're all down. I'm going to tidy my van, because tidy van, tidy mind. I don't know. Anyway, big hugs, everyone. Well, that's the Ghoul Salvation Army with a ton of stuff. Loads of bits and bats, like dug out all of the good stuff, even stuff that we might have kept, but knowing that it goes to a charity shop always makes me a bit more inclined to get rid. So yeah, so that's all in there, and that's really good. That's my van empty. So it's raining, which is brilliant because we've got loads of washing to do. But it is going to be nice just to be able to kick back and relax on campsite for a bit, get showers, get some food. The bar's open later. Cracking Friday night, eh? Well, it's a toast and Marmite kind of morning. However, I might need to flip my bread over halfway through. It's a bit too tall, isn't it? Did you know that something in here, I think it's vitamin D and iron and something, it's really good for the menopause. So if you like Marmite or any cheapy shop brand derivatives of it, then yeah, apparently it is really good for menopause symptoms and things. And this, I add in all sorts of things. I put it in stews, and I put it in if I'm doing like a dark soup rather than a light soup. You know what I mean? And it's great stuff. Loves it.
So what I am trying to tell you here, before the wind very unhelpfully took all the words right out of my mouth, is that I'm walking across the field naked, ready for a shower. Still feels weird with these ponchos, but it's just so much easier to shower with them. I'm also going to try my new purple Damson shampoo bar that's supposed to bring out all my greys, so hopefully that'll do the trick. All my stuff's tucked in my pocket up front, walking across the campsite, perfect. If you don't walk across half naked to go get your shower with your Crocs on, aren't you even showering? Good morning. It's a lovely day at Willow Fields today. I've been walking around my bare feet, as you probably just seen, and then I forgot that sometimes the nickname for this place for me is Windy Fields, so there's no chance of recording anything outside, or at least for you to be able to hear me recording anything outside. So it's a nice little bit of grounding. I think sometimes the feel of the floor and the grass between your toes, even though it's slightly damp this morning, that just added a little bit extra. It's good for the soul, isn't it? It really is. I think sometimes when I do feel so crappy, I end up needing to go back to basics with stuff like that. So I do find it nice. John and I are parked just a little bit further away. Not on purpose, just because we didn't book and all the actual pitches have been sold. So we're on a rally field one, which is only open during the summer holidays. But we can see our friends, which is always a good thing. But yeah, it's been a lovely weekend so far. It seems weird. We've been talking a lot about what we're going to do once we give the unit up and where we're going to go, because it seems that forever we've always had somewhere to go and a deadline of such, and we've got loads of things in the calendar that we've got coming up, but it's a bit it's not a lost feeling. I think sometimes it can be either one or two things, can't it? We've got nothing to do, or we've got nothing to do. It's one of those, isn't it? It's perspective, and also a little bit of what you intend to do with that time. I think every time you set off on a different trip, it's different, isn't it? Because the previous trip will affect how you feel about this trip. And of course, being full-time means that there are no real individual trips. They're just broken up by trips. So just standard parking and living and doing all the other things are broken up by purposeful trips. And I think we need to get some more of those in, even if we're, an hour away from the Lake District, let's say. We should just go and spend 4 or 5 days up there because we can. And we should, we've got the supboard and there's adventure to be found, So it's just trying to figure all of that out as we're going along. Weather's been so nice, and most of the people on here are in tents, so they tend to sit outside all together with barbecues and stuff, which is lovely to see. You just at night you can just see out, and it's just twinkly fairy lights and campfires, and just a muted talking. And I think that's my favourite time. I love it when it's just like that, just seeing everybody enjoying the outdoors and whatnot. Do you ever need a little snacky snack while you're working? So mine today, cheese slices, ham. These are like offcuts of ham. What does it call them? Cooked ham trimmings. And this stuff. Mustard dill sauce. So literally that with a bit of cheese on. Mustard dill sauce. Pretty much just like that. So what's the weirdest snack then that you guys eat? Because I love random things like this where you literally just get whatever bits you want to eat and just make a pile of them and eat them. Normally it involves hummus and veggies. As you know, I'm a big fan of hummus and veggies, but that's not weird at all, is it? I eat gherkins wrapped in ham. So yeah, what's your favourite weirdest snack that you like to eat that you don't think anybody else would go for? Comment down below. Well, good morning. We left Willow Fields yesterday to come back to the unit because I had a few little things that we've had to change, and one of them is going to be how long we get to stay here. We thought we've got another couple of weeks, I think, until we have to be out, but we're gonna have to go today. So we've only got, I don't know, 2 or 3 boxes of things inside there that we're going to take to our daughter's house. We've got things ready to go in the vans, but because we've been to and fro, we've not really prioritised putting them in. So we've been up at the crack of dawn getting bits of stuff done, trying to get the last of our stuff out of there. So a real sad day, really, because I think we thought we were going to be here more long term, but it's weirdly money we can't justify. And also I think it's stopping us from travelling as well as we would, because we have somewhere we're paying for to come back to. And not having that means we're just going to have to do it differently. So if we see our friends, just going to have to go find them instead. Find our friends in different places where they are instead of having this. I had a comment off a guy, all over the place, you know me, on YouTube. It's not bothered me at all. It resonated a little bit. It annoyed me at first because he was just like, stop talking about money all the time. You're money grabbing. It's not a pretty sight. And I had to go watch a video, and my good friend commented on the video, bless her, saying, I've watched this video and there's nothing about money grabbing. But it was like, stop money grabbing and get travelling. And I'm like, well, whatever the money grabbing thing is, I don't know whether it's because I mentioned work, because I have to work, because without work I can't afford to travel. So there's that. But it did make me think that where we've been working whilst travelling, that should be the norm, you know? That should be what we do. We should be working and travelling. We should be working around it. I mean, looking at Courts and Meeks now, who have decided to not do YouTube, which is such a shame, because I did love their videos. They were just always so chill, and I love them to pieces. So it's nice to get a bit more of an update from them that way. But also they do banging Instagram stuff, so it's great to see them getting that balance back where they have to work. So they do their work and then they just travel. And they enjoy it, and they post a little on Instagram to share it. So it's more of that, I think, that's going to be needed. And you know, it's getting to the end of summer, wherever the heck the summer has been. But yeah, it's one of those funny things, isn't it, where it's just going to happen, and we're going to get going, and it's going to be exciting. So yeah, so a bit of a sadness. I don't like big changes, you know me, but the sadness it will be short-lived, I think. It's been lovely being here. We're going to miss Jess, the little dog from our neighbours, because we've been giving her treats now since, was it October, November? So I'm going to miss that little pup. She's not a little pup, but I'm going to miss her, which is weird and strange all at once. But yeah, and that's it from here. We've just got a few things to do, and then we've got quite a full diary, I think, until... we've got two weekends off in October, and then it's going to be absolutely crammed. So hopefully it'll be all interesting stuff for you guys anyway. But I made one very, very simple addition to my van. I've been using the passenger footwell for storage because there's nobody sat there, so I don't need to worry about it. But whenever John does come in my van, I've got to move all of these little things. Look what I've done. I put a box in. And I use this as a little barrier to stop things from coming this way. So yeah, that is going to be brilliant. So then if John does come in with me, I just pick up the box and move it. Simple, eh? Who'd have thought? So yeah, that's it. We've got I did some cupboard latches last night to get them sorted. Not that matters now, because we've got the tools with us to make any changes like that we need. So we're not going to be dependent on having this unit here. I should get a bit more organised and get stuff done, but I've not, because I've been at Willow Fields having a lovely time. So it's time to get stuff done, man. So although nothing much happened in this video, I think you can hopefully feel the excitement of the fact that things will be happening in the future. It's a bit of a tough one, bit stuck about leaving, but happy to be getting cracking and doing more things again. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And please join me on my next video where we do leave the unit, we change our minds a million times, and hopefully find something exciting to do that involves a seaside. So take care, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.